Good morning, everyone. The time is now 9:30. I'll make a brief announcement. Due to technical difficulties, this meeting, there is no video for this meeting. There is audio, so anybody watching online, there is no video for the duration of this meeting. I'll call the March 10th, 2026 meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Number 3 on our agenda, first is swearing-in ceremony. Chief Muck.
Thank you, Chairman. Patrolman Lyle Berkeley, whose hiring was previously approved by the board, has started his career with the police department as of yesterday. Officer Berkeley is a Mill Creek Township resident and a recent graduate of the Mercyhurst Police Academy. After graduating from the academy, Officer Berkeley was hired as a police officer for the Lecom Police Department, and he left that employment to come start his career with us. I'm very pleased to request the board administer the oath of office.
Okay.
Okay, please raise your right hand. I, and state your name, being duly sworn as a police officer in the Township of Mill Creek, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and the ordinances of Mill Creek Township, and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Furthermore, I affirm I will uphold, obey, and enforce. I affirm I will uphold, obey, and enforce the law without consideration to a person's race, color, sex, religious creed, sexual orientation, age, national origin, ancestry, handicap, or disability. Congratulations. Do we need pictures? You too?
Okay, we also have a promotion request. Chief Muck.
Thank you, Chairman. The recent resignation of Corporal Perkins from the department left a vacancy in the patrol division. A structured interview was conducted for 11 patrol officer applicants for the position. After the interview process was completed, Patrolman John Drozdowski was ranked as the top candidate. Officer Drozdowski recently completed his 8th year of service with the Mill Creek Police Department. He has been consistently recognized as a high performer in his patrol duties and is a member of our SWAT team. I recommend his promotion effective today to the rank of corporal.
Thank you. Do I have a motion on this?
I will make a motion to promote Patrolman to Corporal John Drzowski.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Photo op.
Us too. Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
May I-
Vice Chair.
may I just address the audience? Anyone who was here for the promotion and the swearing in, if you would like to go outside and get pictures, please feel free to go ahead and do that at this time. You're not interrupting us if you leave now. That's your cue. You can get out while it's still safe.
I think they were already headed toward the door, Kim, before you even started to speak.
There were a few lingering. They were worried.
And I was going to say, feel free to stay if you'd like,
Or stay.
or stay. Number 4 on our agenda is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning. Is there anyone that wishes to comment on any of the listed agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our February 24th, 2026 regular meeting.
I will make a motion to approve the amended minutes.
And I will second the amended minutes.
I will call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Approval of bills.
I will make a motion to approve the bills.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 7, public hearing on a petition requesting a change in zoning classification. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, I just want to review the standard by which the Board of Supervisors makes this decision. The authority for the Mill Creek Township Board of Supervisors to hear a request for rezoning is derived from the Municipal Planning Code, Section 909.1B, which provides that the governing body shall have exclusive jurisdiction to hear and render final adjudications in the following matters. And item 5 is all petitions for amendments to land use ordinances pursuant to the procedure set forth in Section 609. Any action on such petitions shall be deemed as legislative acts, provided that nothing contained in this clause shall be deemed to enlarge or diminish existing laws with reference to appeals to court. Furthermore, Section 601 of the MPC assigns responsibility for enacting or refusing to enact zoning ordinances to the local legislative body, stating that the government body of each municipality, in accordance with the conditions and procedures set forth in this act, may enact, amend, or repeal zoning ordinances to implement comprehensive plans and to accomplish any purposes of the act. According to the courts, when a landowner makes a request for rezoning, the matter becomes a strictly legislative procedure. Furthermore, the grant or deny an application for rezoning is a legislative act not subject to direct judicial review. The case law with respect to appeals from such legislative actions clearly and consistently holds that because courts have no power to interfere with that strictly legislative process, the determination to grant or deny a petition, which is solely a request for rezoning, is not subject to judicial review. So with that, I would hand this over to Matt to discuss the matters before the board.
Mr. Chairman, these were two separate petitions, so we do have to take both separately.
Yes.
The first is JMG2 Investments Properties, LLC. They are coming to you for property located at 4855 Westlake Road, consisting of approximately 0.4348 acres, now zoned R1 Single Family Residential, asking for the property to be classified as M1 Neighborhood Mixed Use. At their regular meeting of Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this rezoning request. Would like to go over some items for the board from the Planning and Development Department, from myself. This area was studied when we did our comprehensive plan and created our future land use map, as well as when we did the rezoning map that comports to that comprehensive plan and future land use map. The area around all of these properties are solidly residential. There is an existing business on this property that is an existing non-conforming use and can continue to operate as it is for the foreseeable future, and also has a right of expansion. In my opinion, just rezoning these two properties on the south side of West 12th Street would be a spot zone. It's a small total area, and it does not match the rest of the properties around surrounding it. And so my recommendation would be denial of this request.
Matt, I have a question for you. When we redid the zoning ordinance several years ago, what was the zoning of these parcels at that time?
These properties were zoned C1 commercial, and I think prior to that they were B business, so they were zoned business properties, and they were what is there was legally established under prior zoning codes, and so they are allowed to continue those uses.
Right. So when we did the comprehensive rezone, at that time, I'm guessing there was discussion to zone the properties MU1, but it was decided to zone them R1, correct?
Yeah. Yes,
So
because of the
can you just
surround-
briefly discuss the rationale behind that?
Sure. As I mentioned, all of the properties that surround it, save for one property across the street, were residential properties. The theory is that when you're, especially when you're doing a rezoning, that you zone for what you want, not for what you have. It seemed like these were little islands that were surrounded by residential properties, and it would make more sense in the future for them to be residential, and so that's why that decision was made, both in the comprehensive plan with the future land use map and then following up with the zoning code.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Any other questions for Matt? Okay, since this is a public hearing, I will open the hearing up. And anybody that wishes to speak on this matter, they could come up to the podium.
Hello, I'm going to be up here twice. My name is David Haller. I own the next item on your agenda, but since Mark Graham is not here, I want to speak in favor of his.
Okay, for this one, sir, we're just doing the first one.
Yeah,
Okay,
I understand that.
Okay.
But I thought I'd try to represent him.
oh, understood. For the second one, you mean?
The first one.
Oh, for the first one. Okay, fine, cool.
Both properties, I'm going to refer to both properties, are in the same boat. And as we were approved, we were recommended by the Planning Commission for approval. The history of this situation is that these properties have been zoned B business since they were built, 1970.
Can I interrupt you just for 1 second? Could we turn the air off? There's a lot of background noise up here. It's a little difficult to hear the speaker.
Okay, so.
Thank you.
the timeline history of this is in '74, the buildings were built. They were sold, the one building was a barber shop that we're talking about right now. And it's always been a business. It is a business now. It's now a real estate business. In 2022, the comprehensive plan came along, and you all, of course, know all about that. And all of a sudden, it was zoned R1. No one told the owners of the property. And since there's 3 properties involved, actually us 2 on the west side of the street, I don't believe it's spot zoning. I believe that it's a proper thing to do and the right thing to do, to bring our zoning back to the way it's always been. I have no idea why in 2022 it was changed. And therefore, I'm speaking for your passing of the change of zoning. I'll be brief.
Okay, well, perhaps, do you have any questions for the speaker? Perhaps Matt can address he said he didn't know why it was changed. I think you covered that a few minutes ago, but.
Yes, yeah, it was changed because that area is really residential outside of these 2 and maybe 1 property across the street, and that was the reason why.
Right, and would he have received,
When we
well,
did
were you the owner of record when we updated the code?
of the second parcel, I believe, correct? Yeah.
Were you notified of that one?
In a comprehensive rezone, we do not notify, and we're not required to notify every individual property owner. We did have multiple, I believe 5 total, public meetings, open houses about the change in the code beforehand.
Right.
And then there were several meetings before the Planning Commission and this board before the zoning was adopted.
Okay, so what he says could be considered partially correct in that he wasn't individually notified via certified mail or directly to your residence, but we did do a comprehensive notification on several different occasions with open houses and different
Correct.
Media outlets, so, okay.
Okay, for discussion at this time? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I took a good look at this yesterday, and I've spoken with Matt a fair amount. So one of the things I think that's that you could argue most for changing the zoning is the 2 properties across the street, which you can see a little bit there, those triangle-shaped properties. The one directly across the street has beer business, something like that. But also you've got the parcel directly to the left of it, which you can't see, which is shaped relatively the same. With those ones, they're also zoned R1. But reasonably, I don't think we could ever expect a house to be built at either of those 2. So I think it makes sense definitely for those 2 to stay some sort of mixed use. So what I would propose at this time is probably tabling these 2 properties to rezone to mixed use and actually bring forth all 4 of them to be done at the same time. The 2 properties we have right here, they're less than 1 acre total, and I feel like that's where we would get into spot zoning. But if we go ahead and add in those properties across the street, it's much less likely to be considered spot zoning, having 4 parcels that are all considered at once, and then that's really considered more of a node.
Are the 2 parcels, you're referring to the north side of Westlake Road?
Yeah.
Are those individuals looking to rezone, or we don't know?
I mean, this one's a business already. Yeah, as I say, I believe Mr. Haller spoke to them.
Just to give you some, this is the building that I own. This is the building that is up on your agenda first. Across the street is 1 parcel. There's 2 buildings on it, but it's 1 parcel.
Okay.
There's one building that has a beer distributor, that used to have a beer distributor in it. There's 1 building that has a flooring business in it. And then there's a vacant lot.
Right.
I don't know the status of the vacant lot, but
What's the makeup of the properties on the south side adjoining the properties in question today? What's the makeup of that, to the west and to the east?
Well, there's a street to the west,
Brookside,
right? And
Woodside.
There's
Or Woods-
some houses to the east. I might point out that if one went to the Mill Creek Township zoning map down to the place called Vernondale, I believe we call it, it's the exact same situation that we have. There are businesses on the corridor, and they're zoned MU1. We believe that for some reason, these properties got singled out, and they're businesses, they've always been businesses, they're not residences, they'll never be residences, not unless somebody tears the buildings down. But the buildings are in excellent shape, and everything is on the up and up. I mean, it's always been offices. So this is a complete surprise to at least two building owners. I've talked to the gentleman who owns across the street, and he's in the same boat. He chose not to partner with us to ask for this recommendation. And I'll point out again that the planning commission did recommend that we be approved of the zoning change.
so what's the current use of these two properties?
The
What-
building that is your second on your agenda here, which is 4845 West Logan, is a mixed-use office. It has been a rental office for 40 years. I've owned the building for 40 years. And there are different rental spaces inside the building that are used for everything from professional offices to psychology offices to, we had a hairdresser in there one time. Right now, at the present time, half the building is used by a church, but they're soon to move out because they found a bigger space. We use this space, I call it an incubator. We rented to people who needed a small space, they grew and eventually moved out. And we felt that we were providing that service for Mill Creek Township. This, on the corner here, used to be a barber shop, and now it is a real estate office.
So what prompted the request for this now?
What prompted it?
Yes. What led you to do the request
I'll tell you
right
the
now?
story. October 18th of this year, I put the building up for sale prior to that. And I had a prospective buyer and a very low-ball offer. And I said, why such the low-ball offer? And they said, well, you have a zoning problem. And at that time, only at that time, I found out that my property, which looks like a business, smells like a business, and has been a business, was zoned R1.
But it was permitted, correct, Matt?
And
Yes.
the true configuration is R1 with legal non-conforming use. But half the building, since a church moved in prior to that, prior to the 2022 zoning, a church moved into half the building. That half of the building is zoned R1. Then we went to I had a buyer for the building, a second buyer. The other buyer backed out. I had a second buyer, and she sought a variance from the zoning hearing board and received a variance for professional offices. And so right now, the official zoning for this building is half the building zoned R1 with a variance, and the other half is zoned R1 legal non-conforming use. Now, can I play an advocate here and put you in the position of a buyer of a building like this? And you saw the zoning? I'm just gonna ask the rhetorical question. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And we thought that we convinced the zoning hearing board, we thought we convinced the planning commission, and, you know, here we are. And I'd be glad to answer any other questions. I don't believe it's spot zoning. We've got two parcels here that want to simply go back to the way they were for the last 50 years.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Is there anybody else wishing to speak on this particular rezoning request?
To the applicant, would there be any objection if I made a motion to table this and ask the planning commission to also look at the other two parcels across the street?
I respect anything you do, you know that. It would delay, I have another prospective buyer right now, it might delay that. And I'm not, I don't know, I always thought, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought if the planning commission recommended something, usually you guys followed suit and took their recommendation. Am I wrong on that?
It's a case-by-case basis.
In
yeah.
answer to your question, I respect whatever you do, you know I do. I appreciate what you people do, and I will abide by whatever you want. But I think the right thing to do is to change that zoning. That's the right thing to do.
Okay, do we have a motion on this? Okay, there's no one else to speak on this. I will close the hearing and ask for a motion.
I would ask for a motion to to table this until we can have the planning commission take a look at the parcels 143001 and 141011, and request that the planning commission look at changing those as well to MU1 to avoid any confusion of spot zoning.
Okay, so is this a motion to table?
Both.
Well, we haven't had a hearing on the second one
Okay.
yet, so,
A motion to table the first one.
okay. I'll second that as well. I'd like a little more time to review this. I mean, I have driven by there. I'm very familiar with the area, but I would like some more time to review this and before I vote on this. So I'm going to second her motion to table. I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes to table. Okay, we have the next hearing for this. Attorney Shaw, do you need anything on this, or Matt?
Nothing,
Thank you.
Mayor.
Yes, this is a petition by Ann D. Howler for property located at 4845 Westlake Road, consisting of approximately 0.5032 acres, now zoned R1 Single Family Residential, asking for the property to be classified as MU1 Neighborhood Mixed Use. And at their regular meeting of Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026, the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission recommended approval of this rezoning request.
Okay, I'll open the hearing up. Anybody wishing to speak on this rezoning?
I'm not going to waste your time. You know what I just said. I could read this
No.
whole spiel, but you don't want to.
You're good.
All I can tell you is that it's the right thing to do to change this zoning. It makes absolutely no sense to have rezoned this R1. For what reason? I've never been able to get a definitive reason from any people that were associated. As a matter of fact, I did get an apology from one of the Mill Creek Township Planning Commission people. They were sorry that they put me through all this. Again, I respect what you do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hall.
you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this rezoning request?
Just an answer to Mr. Haller's, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
Sorry, permission. I think that the reason that it was, just from what I'm gathering to the pre-20, because I think we voted on this in April 2022. I think the reason is because the other properties to the west and to the east of these two were residential. I think that was why they decided to just make it consistent. Just to answer your question, why? I think that was the reason. Is that correct, Matt?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It was in
okay.
respect to
So-
all the properties around it.
And I understand the pre-existing use is, and it had been that way historically for 50 years, so that's very important for us to note. Yes, just so that people that are listening in can hear you, would you mind just speaking into the microphone?
David Haller again. I'm sorry. I think one of the biggest arguments one could make for this is the area in Vernondale down the street,
Yes.
which has residential, then there's the Stan's Garden Center and the heating place and the
I
other.
pulled that up on the map. There's Barbados, there's a dry cleaner.
But there's residential.
Yeah, yep.
And I believe that my property and the property next to me and across the street, I believe that we were actually, I'm not going to, can I use the word discriminated against? I hope that's not, I don't mean to be derogatory or inflame anything. But how come they didn't get changed to R1?
I think the ones right across the street from you did. Those, the beer distributor, and then those two triangle locations, those did get also. So it wasn't just you.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the ones down the street, which are in the
Down the
same-
street.
That have the same
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
relation between neighborhood and,
I think there were a few more consistent properties, and I think that what Dr. Morris has suggested is actually a really good idea to avoid the spot zoning. To include those two triangle pieces would eliminate that. It would make more of a corridor, the way it is down at the west.
I yield to your decision.
Okay.
And sorry, and Matt, if someone did buy that property and even as a mixed use wanted to live there, are they allowed to use it as a residential?
Which property, just to be clear?
Anything in
Any of these
MU1.
two that we're talking about, you mean?
If
or-
it was rezoned to MU1?
You could not have a single-family residential home there. You could have multifamily, single-family attached, which would be like a duplex. But no, regular single-family would not be permitted in the MU1.
Oh. But still, someone could live there in a
Someone could live there
scenario.
as apartments or, yes.
Matt, what was kind of the delineation of the, zoning designations further to the west? Was there kind of a break point there, or?
There is a much bigger, what we would call a node, like Supervisor Morris mentioned, to the west there, where that district that's MU1 is nearly 3 blocks long. In this case, even, and I do agree with Supervisor Morris that adding the properties would make this a better situation, but even so, at most, that's four individual properties surrounded entirely by residential, where, down there, we're talking about at least a dozen, if not more, in a 3-block stretch. And so that's when you're zoning, you want to make zones, large areas that have similar uses so that the people nearby have assurances of what may or may not be there in the future.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else wishing to speak on this rezoning? If not, I'll close the hearing. Close the hearing and ask for a motion on this.
I would make a motion to table this again and ask the Planning Commission to review the 2 parcels across the street so that they could possibly be all zoned together.
Okay, I will second that. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes to table. Thank you, Mr. Haller, for coming in, and we'll be seeing you again.
Mr. Holler, Mr. Chairman, may I ask Mr. Holler a question?
Go ahead.
Mr. Holler, did you happen to fill out anything
Get a
with your
card.
name and phone number? Okay. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure we have your number. Okay.
Yeah, the date, what's the date of when you table it?
So I believe, and I would have to double check, but I believe that there's still the opportunity to be on the April Planning Commission meeting, which would be April the 10th, oh, I'm sorry, April the 7th. I believe we're still within that deadline that we could make it to that meeting, notify everyone, and have it at the April 7th would be the Planning Commission meeting where this would be heard.
Didn't we already surpass the?
Well,
Jerry, were you asking when we would be voting on this same matter again?
Okay.
He's asking, because we tabled it,
Yeah.
will we be voting on this at our next public meeting? Well-
Mr. Haller,
Hold on.
I think the process is that it's going to go back to the Planning Commission so that these additional properties can be considered by the Planning Commission. They will then make a recommendation, and then the meeting following that meeting, I believe, is when it could come back to the Board of Supervisors.
No, Attorney Shaw, I
that'll
believe
correct me.
because of the 30, because it's a rezoning, it would have to be 30 days after that.
Okay.
So it would potentially be at the May 12th Supervisors Meeting where all 4 properties could be considered
Okay.
once those 2 are added.
What if the 2 property owners, or on the north side, have no interest in rezoning? Then we could just hear this again at our
Yes,
next
yeah,
meeting without the
correct.
planning commission
Correct.
being involved, in theory.
Yep. Yes, the only thing I would fall back to is what Attorney Shaw mentioned at the beginning, that zoning is a legislative act, and so you could choose to rezone those properties as well, no matter what. That would be up to the board.
Okay. We will be in touch.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, number 8 on our agenda, new amended ordinances under review. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, we have 2 that are about to be published and would be voted on at the next meeting. It's ordinance 2026-2, which is an ordinance of the Township of Mill Creek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, repealing and replacing Chapter 48 Code Enforcement of the Mill Creek Township Code, and ordinance 2026-3, an ordinance of the Township of Mill Creek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, amending various provisions of the Mill Creek Township Code to update the enforcement and penalties and provisions to be consistent with the new Chapter 48 Code Enforcement of the Mill Creek Township Code. So we now have completed the draft of the fines and penalties ordinances, and as I indicated, they will be considered at the next board meeting. They will be published on the township website for the public to view. The first ordinance, 2026-2, is going to repeal and replace Chapter 48, which is the section that addresses the procedural requirements for enforcement and the collection of fines and penalties. It also sets forth uniform minimum and maximum fine and penalty amounts applicable to civil offenses and summary offenses. These amounts will be a minimum of $250 per violation and a maximum of $600 per violation on the civil offense side, and a minimum of $250 and a maximum of $1,000 per violation on the summary offense side. Both maximums are consistent with what the second-class township code allows. Note that there are some exceptions to these uniform amounts when there are other statutes and laws that affect those. And then the second ordinance essentially is going through the current various enforcement provisions under our various ordinances to update those and make those consistent with the changes that are being made to Chapter 48. The goal ultimately was to simplify and make consistent the enforcement procedures in the township. So looking forward to getting those wrapped up. And then we still are reviewing the subdivision and land development ordinance as well.
Thank you. Number 9 on our agenda is Resolution 2026-R7. Attorney Shaw.
Yes, before you is Resolution 2026-R7 regarding records disposition. The This is a resolution to approve the disposal of certain municipal records maintained by the police department that are reaching the end of their retention period. I believe there are also records from the administration, HR department. Let me just grab those real quick. Give me 1 second. So with respect to the police records to be disposed of, they would include the MVR BWC footage that includes test recordings through January 22 of 26, traffic stops through December 23 of 25, incident only in special circumstances through March 22 of 24, and case report, arrest report, SRR unknown types through 3/22 of 06. In addition, the HR has requested disposal of the 2020 medical, dental, and vision claim records, the 2020 employee files, the 2013 through 2022 unemployment compensation claim files, 2018 insurance claims, 2018 workers' compensation claims, 2024 applications for employment, life insurance claims from 2011 through 2019, retirement files deceased 2013 through 2019, reimbursement records 2013 through 2023, and sewer authority personnel files, all of those preceding or predating 2020. All of those are in accordance with the record retention periods of the records manual. So I would recommend approval of this resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have several bids and quotes. First one, Director Stutzman.
Thank you. I'm going to request that the ADA website remediation software be tabled. I'm gathering additional information from other municipalities, quotes, and our IT staff.
Motion to table?
I will second.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I will also vote yes on the tabling. Mill Fair Special Collection Event postcards.
Thank you. On May 16th, 2026, the Mill Fair Compost Center will be hosting the annual special collection event for hard-to-dispose-of items, including tires and paper shredding, among many other items. Mailing a postcard to all Mill Creek Township residents is just one way we communicate this recycling event. We did receive 2 CoStarz quotes, one from McCarty Printing and one from Printing Concepts. I believe both are in front of you. The Printing Concepts quote was $3,052 for printing 29,500 postcards. And we also received a quote from McCarty Printing, who is also now a CoStarz vendor, and that quote came in at $2,640. It is my recommendation to print these postcards through McCarty Printing for a total cost of $2,640. The funding for this purchase will come from the CRS Milford operational line item advertising and printing, and the expense is also eligible for an 80% reimbursement through the PA DEP HHW education grant, the pass-through through the county.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Mr. Chairman, I
Yes.
would just like to say that's such a great event. Everyone, please put it on your calendars. It's May
16th.
Saturday, May 16th.
May 16th, yes, special collection. And you are doing tires.
We are doing the full event
It's
this year.
this year's, because it's every other year.
We are going to attempt doing the full event this year, moving into the full event every year. It's just been really popular, and so I think that we're able to offer all of the stations every single year.
And if people bring bills and papers, you'll shred.
Yes, from residents only, no businesses.
Yes, great, wonderful. Thank you.
Next is bid results and award for Kearsarge Force Main Replacement Project. Director Puda.
Thank you. Good morning. The Engineering and Public Works Departments are requesting approval to award the Kearsarge Force Main project. This project is to replace the existing sanitary sewer force main, as we have had multiple breaks in the line over the last several years, and it is at the end of its useful life. Yesterday was the bid opening, and 4 quotes were received as follows. Shivers Construction Company for the price of $2,770,834. Conzo Construction for $3,974,000. Pollard Land Services for $3,029,495. And Wilson Excavating and Utility Construction for $5,273,920. Funding for this project will come from a Penvest loan, which will be paid back by the Sewer Revenue Fund. Both Township Engineer Rob Rodermeyer and I are requesting to award the contract to the low bidder, Shivers Construction Company, for the price of $2,770,834.
Mr. Chairman, I would also like to add that we have a grant as well of, I think it's $500,000 that will be used for this project, an H2O grant from the state, so.
Correct.
Thank you. Is there a motion on this?
I did have one question just
Yeah,
for
go ahead.
Mr. Puda. So I was reviewing kind of all of the line items going on here, and I noticed that some of the individual unit prices were potentially up to 10 times difference. So for example, the private driveway pavement replacement, the low bidder was $720, the high bidder was $75 per unit. And just so those were just wildly different. So I just want to make sure no concern on your part from those very different quotes.
No, engineering looked at it, and I've inspected several of these projects. These numbers are always all over the place. Sometimes the contractors will do like concrete work themselves. Sometimes they'll sub it out, so the unit prices can vary a lot. But it's pretty normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I will make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Radio replacement in control stations.
Thank you. The Sewer Department is requesting to replace the radio control stations in Mill Creek Township buildings. These radio stations allow communication between sewer personnel as well as dispatch. The existing stations are in need of replacement as they rely on old technology to communicate with each other. A quote was received from Freedom Communications Incorporated for the price of $19,718.80. Funding for this purchase will come from the Freedom Radio Project line item of the Sewer Revenue Capital Budget. I recommend approval to upgrade these control stations. I would like to note that that was the only bid we did receive because we've been using this Freedom Communications for well over 25 years. They're the ones that do it. This is just upgrading from analog to digital.
Okay.
And do you anticipate, will we be able to get anything from the old radios? Like, is there a resale price to them?
No, I mean, they're basically outdated, and we basically have to do it. It's analog, so I don't think anybody would even want them.
Is analog bad?
TV ears, or those
Just-
rabbit ears are
Just
not
wondering.
bad. Not bad.
Is there a motion to approve this high-tech equipment?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Fire hose, Chief Cliff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attached is a quote from Whitmere Public Safety Group for the purchase of fire hose to fully outfit the 2 new engines that are currently on order. Due to foreseeing extended lead times, the delivery is expected to take approximately 12 months from the date of order is placed. Given that the new engines that are on order are anticipated to arrive mid-year next year, I'm requesting approval to buy this hose now as it's an extended lead time. Total purchase price for the fire hose to outfit the 2 engines is $104,517.97. under CoStar's contract number 021-E22-281. Funding for this purchase will be allocated out of the 2027 capital budget. I'd recommend the approval.
Any questions or comments on this?
I did want to make a comment. Chief Cliff, I know that I had talked to you about the type of hose that was, that has been agreed upon. Would you just be able to speak to the group on the type of hose and why the Mill Creek Fire has decided to move forward with that type of hose?
Sure. So township-wide, the township municipal department worked in collaboration with all the volunteer districts within the township. We actually set up a demo day where we went through various types of manufacturers, and it was a unanimous vote on the Chiefs Association in Mill Creek Township to move to Mercedes hose that is purchased through the Whitmere Public Safety Group.
And just to clarify, it was the consensus of all of the volunteer fire departments, and those are the people that are represented at this commission, correct?
Correct.
So this was their unanimous choice?
Yes,
They all agreed? Okay.
correct.
I just wanted to say that 4 times. Okay. Thank you very much for clarification. And with that, I will make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I will vote yes. Fence relocation.
Thank you. The Building Maintenance Department is requesting approval to relocate the chain link fence and gate adjacent to the salt barn behind the township building. This relocation of fencing will enclose the recently acquired parcel next to the salt barn. A quote was received from Erie Fence Incorporated to relocate the fence and gate for a price of $4,515. Funding for this work will come from the maintenance and repairs line item of the building maintenance operating budget. I recommend approval to relocate this fence.
Thank you. Is there a motion on the fence relocation?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a printer, admin, streetlight.
Yes.
Ellen?
The Administration Department is seeking approval to purchase a 2026 Kyocera Ecosystem 6000X black and white printer copier for the printing of streetlight bills and past due notices. This purchase would be from Hagen Business Machines for $2,145, and there would also be a 3-year maintenance contract at .0065 cents per impression. The current printer is old and the repairs have become very costly, and it has been determined that this would be less costly just to purchase a new printer copier than outsourcing the printing to an outside company. This was a budgeted item in the admin capital budget, and it would come out of their major equipment line item.
And just to be clear, this is the purchase, not the lease, correct?
This is the purchase. Yes.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 11, lease agreement with Guardian Towers LLC.
Yes,
Attorney Shaw.
before you is a lease with Guardian Towers LLC to lease an unused portion of the Mill Fair Compost and Recycling Center property to potentially install a communications tower. The leased area is 2,704 square feet. The initial term of the lease is 1 year, plus 3 one-year renewal periods with a payment of $1,000 each year to explore the feasibility of the project. If the project is determined to be feasible, then the initial term would be for 10 years with 3 additional 5-year renewal terms. The annual rent beginning after the initial period is $14,400, and to the extent that the tenant adds a second carrier to the tower, the township is entitled to additional rent of 12.5% of the payments the tenant receives from the second carrier and 15% of any payments received from a third carrier. A few questions did come up late regarding installation and access to the property, but we do not believe that would present an issue, so the recommendation would be to approve the lease subject to finalizing any minor terms relative to access, installation, and maintenance of the property.
Okay, any questions or comments on this lease agreement?
I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the lease agreement with Guardian Towers.
Second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 12 on our agenda is vehicle sales refunds. So on November 19th of this year, there was a township auction, and two of the bidders bid on vehicles, and the mileage that they were bidding on, the listed mileage, was incorrect. The first vehicle was a 2015 Ford Explorer. The listed mileage was 112,258. The actual mileage, we subsequently found out, was 130,000. The winning bid on that was $3,060. The second highest bid was $2,002. The difference is $1,058. The second vehicle was a 2013 Ford Taurus. The listed mileage was 98,017. The actual mileage was $131,951. The winning bid was $2,003. The second highest bid was $1,805 for a difference of $198. I would like to make a motion to refund those two bidders, the high bidders, the difference of the two bids, which would then result in the winning bid by a penny. So in other words, the first bid was $1,058. I would like to make a motion to refund that high bidder $1,057.99. And the second bidder, I would propose to refund $197.99. This was just a internal mistake that we didn't catch until the winning bidders brought it to our attention. So we apologize for any inconvenience, and I think to be consistent and to be fair, I think it's fair to refund them the amount. I'll make a motion on those two refunds.
And Mr. Chairman, I will second that motion. And if I could also say that, our apologies go to the oversight there. So I'm glad that we're rectifying that. It was an honest, I think, mistake from when it was taken and when it was looked at again.
And for full disclosure, one of the winning bidders is a relative of mine, so I'm going to abstain from actually voting on these refunds.
Okay.
So we have a motion and
I seconded.
a second. I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm going to abstain from voting.
Okay.
Passes 2-0. Okay, next on our agenda is acceptance of stormwater management plan, Enclave. Director Waldinger.
Thank you. The developer for the Enclave Land Development Plan, which is 3531 LLC, has had their stormwater management plan reviewed by Greenman Peterson Incorporated, the township's contracted third-party stormwater reviewer, for consistency with the stormwater management ordinance. GPI has determined that the plan meets the substantive requirements of the stormwater management ordinance. Also in front of you is a stormwater maintenance agreement signed by the developer. And so at this time, would recommend that the board accept their stormwater management plan and approve their stormwater maintenance agreement.
Okay, any questions or comments on stormwater plan and maintenance agreement?
No, but I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a sidewalk deferral request from Enclave.
Yes, thank you. Again, this is the same land development plan, the Enclave Land Development Plan. The developer is 3531 LLC. They are seeking to defer installation of sidewalks for their development. Those would be the sidewalks both along Westlake Road and the east side of Linden Drive. At this time, there are no adjacent sidewalks, nor are there any plans to install sidewalks in the area. They have submitted a deferral agreement on the township forms, and that should be in front of you as well.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
I will say that I did drive by this area just this morning and was kind of checking it out, looking at it. If you look at the map, it is a significant portion with the sidewalk that would be both on Westlake Road and on Linden Ave. And I know on that Linden Ave, you know, people do walk up and down there. Additionally, there's a bus route that goes along Westlake Road, and having a sidewalk there would be a great place for a bus stop. So I would encourage the sidewalks.
Okay. So, do we have a motion? Excuse me.
Can I make a motion to deny?
You can make any motion you want. To deny the deferral.
Correct.
Okay, we have a motion to deny the sidewalk deferral request. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny the deferral. I'll ask for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I will vote no. So the deferral request does not pass. You got that, Matt?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, communications. First is MPD grant award and vehicle.
Yes, Chairman. We had applied for a DCED grant to acquire a new patrol vehicle for the traffic section at the police department and to upfit this vehicle with regular patrol equipment. Also, it was requested for the grant to fund additional training for our traffic investigators and to purchase additional traffic investigation equipment for those investigators. The DCED grant was awarded Mill Creek Township with $132,810 to fund this need. Next, the board is requested to approve this award and to sign the program invoice.
Okay. Is there a motion on the grant?
I will make a motion to, excuse me, for the MPD grant award and vehicle.
Seconded.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Green Light Go Grant Award. Who wants to handle that? Kim, wasn't that?
Sure, I can do that. Yes, I've been getting all of the information on that, so that makes sense.
Is this for West 12th Street?
Yes, so for, and I do apologize, let's pull this up. There is a reimbursement grant agreement that was sent to the township from the consultant for the PA Department of Transportation. And if you will recall, we did initially receive basically a pre-development agreement that we would accept the award. I believe it was an award acceptance. And this would then, this would actually be the agreement that would execute the reimbursement grant agreement for the 10 Green Light Go reimbursement for the SR.5 traffic signal upgrades to the corridor from West Erie Plaza to Asbury Road, once the project has fully been executed. So I know that this has been vetted by our legal department and by our traffic department, Jeff Tenney, as well as Sebastian Puda. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the Green Light Go Grant Award Agreement.
And I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Go ahead.
If I could,
Attorney
Mr.
Shaw.
Chairman, just a reminder for folks that this grant amount was $1,799,885.76, which, is a significant amount, so.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have a PA 2023 DEP grant award.
Yes, thank you. I just received notification from the DEP that our application that we submitted it in December 2024, but it is for our 2023 recycling tonnages. We were just awarded that, and we should expect payment in 4 to 6 weeks. The amount is $79,047.15. This is a reimbursement for everything that helps to my department to operate. So it funds green initiatives, projects, community outreach, and training for my staff.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes.
And congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
I know this is used for a lot of our printing materials and a lot of the work done out at Mill Fair and
Yes.
et cetera.
Yes,
So
yeah,
thanks.
and like I said, being able to attend conferences as well as throw pizza parties for the school, everything that, makes my department go around.
Speaking of Mill Fair, we have an HHW grant application.
Yes, so this is related to the postcards that were approved earlier in the meeting. The Mill Fair Special Collection event will be held on Saturday, May 16th from 9 a.m. to noon at the Mill Fair Compost Center located at 2301 Mill Fair Road. The event must be pre-approved by the PA Department of Environmental Protection and is eligible for grant funding through the Household and Small Business Hazardous Waste Collection Program. Mill Creek Township will file a 3-part application consisting of the application for registration, the record of operations, and the application for reimbursement. The grant will partially reimburse the township for the following expenses: employee, staff, and time, and employer costs, food and drink for volunteers, and contracted services such as tire removal and recycling. In total, Mill Creek Township estimates that our application for reimbursement will be approximately $2,475 from the PA DEP, and for this application, supervisor and notary signatures are required on the grant. Due to recent changes, the grant reporting procedures and educational expenses will be funded directly through the PA DEP pass-through grant from the Erie County Sustainability Coordinator's Office.
Thank you. Is this something we need to take action on today, or is that just an announcement?
No, I think we do need to take action because you need to sign the application.
Okay,
for
it's
us.
for the application itself.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion on this grant application?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Government Transition Committee, I have just a brief report that we opened up letters of interest / applications online, and so far I have received 7 applications. Mr. Waldinger, do you have further information?
Yeah, I just wanted to share with the public, obviously, since applications are coming in, people have found the means to do so, but just wanted for everybody's benefit to know that if you go to millcreektownship.com, up near the top on the right-hand side, there is a government menu, and underneath there is a heading titled 2028 Government Transition. If you click on that, that will take you to a landing page with information. That will be the future home for where we will, publish information as the commission does its work. The committee does its work. But on there now is a form to express your interest in being on the Transition Advisory Committee. So that's where you find that, and you can fill out that form, upload any documents that you want, and that's how you get on the list.
Up until midnight on the 31st.
Yes, the end of, March 31st.
Okay. Any other comments on the Transition Committee application process?
Seems pretty easy from what I've heard, so
Yes.
the easy form to fill out.
Yes. Okay, CRS announcements, anything further? Oh, hello.
Hi, good morning. The High Five from the Public and Cheers for Peers campaigns both encourage the general public and our coworkers to celebrate outstanding service from those working in public service. If you have noticed a township employee going above and beyond, please take a moment to recognize their efforts by scanning the QR code on the flyer in the back of the room or links found online. At this time, we would like to recognize the B-Shift crew at MFD. The B-Shift crew was recognized for helping a resident while they recovered from a knee injury, and they were so appreciative that they wanted to let us know what a great job they did. Please commend them.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yeah.
There was a second high five from the peers that we wanted to recognize today as well. That was for Chantel Rodriguez and for the work that she does. She has been nominated by her peers for all the work that she does going above and beyond for each department, and for advocating for each of our department's needs and ensuring that their work is communicated clearly and effectively and professionally to the public. So she serves our township very well in her role as our communications coordinator. So she was recognized by her peers.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
go ahead.
can I please recognize all 250 of our employees in the entire township and cheer them on for the great work that they do for our community as well? There is not one person I can say that works for this township that does not put their whole heart into everything they do. So thank you to all of our employees.
Okay,
And that includes you and Dr. Morris as well.
well, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, looks next up is Treasurer Communications.
I'm not recognizing anybody, and I have nothing to say.
Thanks for
Okay.
nothing, Melanie.
There you go.
Joke. Refreshing.
I am not a flowery type person.
Next, we have a termination request from Public Works.
Yes,
Director Puda.
Thank you. This came from Diane Lyons Administration. So the Administration Department and I recommend the Board of Supervisors approve the termination of employment of Streets Maintenance employee James Castleberry, effective immediately, on the basis of abandonment of position in excess of 7 working days, and that the employee's seniority be deemed broken in accordance with Article 6, Section 10 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement. Therefore, we recommend termination of this employee.
I will make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Call for a vote. Supervisor Clear,
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a promotion request. Director Waldinger.
Thank you. Yes, this is a promotion request for Matthew Puda in the Planning and Development Department. Matt has expanded the township's GIS far beyond the state it was when he was hired in 2020, growing and expanding the platform. He is now in charge of at least 6 different platforms that integrate with the GIS and continues to expand the use of each throughout the township departments. The work has outstripped his current position and job description, so I'm recommending him for a promotion to the newly titled position of Geospatial Systems Administrator. This would be in effect starting tomorrow, March 11th, 2026. His new salary would be $66,000. Matt was hired full-time by Mill Creek Township in May of 2020. He has been a planner GIS specialist in Planning and Development Department, and so I'm recommending him for this promotion. I'd also like to note that this would be a replacement for the current position, so I am not seeking permission to backfill or hire anyone additional.
Okay, thank you.
I will make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear,
Yes.
Supervisor Morris.
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I would just like to note that I've watched over the last, over 4 years now, Matt Puda grow in his position and take on a lot of the points that Matt Waldinger mentioned as far as taking on learning a lot of this technology that has really, I mean, it has saved the township a lot of money. It would have been outsourced previously. And, but he has taken this in-house. He's taken on a leadership role in the township. And I've watched him become more comfortable in that. And I'm really proud to say that this is a well-deserved promotion within this township. So Matt Puda, thank you for your work. You didn't just do the work. You actually stood back and said, okay, how can I make this all better for everyone? So thanks for that.
You want to get a photo op afterwards?
Oh.
Like- Okay.
Yes,
job.
good job.
Okay, we have numerous hiring requests, seasonal. Director Esper.
Thank you. The roughly 30 listed employees and volunteers listed before you are requested to be approved for part-time employment as well as seasonal employment for the spring 2026 season. These employees and volunteers are essential to carrying out the spring recreational offerings of the Parks and Recreation Department, as well as some maintenance operations, both for the Parks Department and for the Mill Creek Golf and Learning Center. The part-time employee wages are accounted for in the Parks and Recreations Department's operational budget, and the wages suggested for each employee are based off the part-time wage scale that was previously approved by the Board of Supervisors. So it is my recommendation to approve the listed employees for their respective part-time positions.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion on this?
I will make a motion to approve.
Okay, Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, we have several training requests from the police. Chief Mook, you can handle them all.
Okay, thanks, Chairman. First, the PA DUI Association is hosting a training course May 13th and 14th in advanced roadside impairment detection at the Erie County Department of Public Safety. 2 officers, Patrolman Erickson and Patrolman Bowling, would like to attend the course. There are no costs whatsoever for this training. Next, there's a 3-day conference being held April 7th through the 9th in New Orleans, Louisiana, titled Innovative Response Strategies for Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence. And the course fee, lodging, and travel are being paid for by the SART grant. I'm requesting approval to send Lieutenant Adam Hardner to this conference. The only cost to the township is the per diem, which is $360. Next, the MPD SWAT team needs to certify 2 instructors in the deployment of pepperball munitions. There's a 2-day training for this subject matter, April 21st and 22nd in Smethport, PA. I'm seeking approval to send Corporal Drozdowski and Patrolman Paranel to this course. Tuition is $650 per student, or $1,300 total. Hotel costs for the Holiday Inn Bradford are $144 a night. 2 nights, 1 room, $288. Per diem is $170 per officer, or $340 total. Travel by department vehicle, estimated fuel cost $50. The total travel costs here are estimated at $678. Next, the Erie County District Attorney's Office is hosting a 2-day training course in narcotics enforcement and trafficking investigations this April 28th and 29th in Erie. There's no cost to attend the course. I'm seeking approval to send our 3 detectives in special investigations, Corporal Buckner, Detective Katerna, and Detective Fennell, and 8 patrol officers, Mikowski, Chest, Erickson, Mayo, Miller, Nagel, Shapter, and Weschler, to this training. And last, the state police are hosting a mandatory terminal agency coordinator clean meeting on March 19th at Slippery Rock University. The meeting will run from 9 a.m. till noon that day. I'm seeking approval to send MPD Communications Personnel TAC Officer DeLeo and Dispatcher DeBacco for this session. There's no cost to attend this, and travel will be by department vehicle.
Okay, is there a motion on these 5 training requests?
Just one quick question. For the training to certify 2 instructors, I assume that by having the instructors in-house, then it'll save us costs in the future for not having to outsource this class?
Right, we previously had 2 instructors certified. Their certifications are expiring, and they're stepping away from this particular munition, so we need to train somebody. And these are the 2 officers that have stepped up to take on this task.
Okay.
Is there a motion on these requests?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And seconded.
Okay, Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Fire has several training requests. Chief Cliff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first request is for myself to attend the Eastern Division of the International Association of Fire Chiefs Leadership Conference in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, from April 16th through the 18th. Transportation will be by department vehicle. The total estimated costs are $692. Broken down, registration's $100, hotel $400, per diem $192. The conference focuses on executive leadership, emerging industry trends, strategic planning, and will directly support our continuing organizational development and implementation of Mill Creek Fire Department's long-term goals. The second is for water rescue training for the 2026 water rescue. It's a two-part series beginning with water rescue awareness being held on March 19th. The members needing that awareness class include firefighters Weston, Winger, Grachani, Jazowicz, Holly, Catro, Pinio, and Cernick. And the second part to that class is the WRER, which is the operations level. It's a two-day, 16-hour class that will be held on April 18th and 19th. It's offered through Bucks Community College at the total cost of $575. It covers a total of 16 students, and it includes 3 instructors for that class. Of our paid membership, we have firefighters Kuhn, Kelly, Hicks, Weston, Winger, Grachani, Jazowicz, Holly, Catro, Pinio, and Cernick, who all need the operations level training. We will not fill up the total 16 students, so the additional class slots will be offered to volunteers within the township. The next class is for firefighter Kuhn to obtain his Firefighter 1 testing, requesting for him to go through Butler Community College for the practical testing, which is scheduled March 10th, with the written exam to be followed on March 14th. This certification is a condition of employment. Transportation will be by department vehicle. Total cost of the class is $200 for the certification testing. Hotel accommodations are $131.77, and the per diems totaling $192. Next is for firefighter Schmidt to obtain his Firefighter 2 certification testing through the Butler Community College. This is a pro board certification. For the cost of the class and testing is $210. Transportation will be by personal vehicle, and the test date is scheduled for April 25th. This is just a one-day class down and back. And the last one is in addition to the PELRAS conference that was previously approved. This is an addition for Assistant Chief William Anderson to attend the PELRAS conference as well. The total cost for lodging, $562.77, per diems at $280, and the conference registration at $700. We also wanted to include in this request was transportation. Previously, for the PELRAS conference, the transportation was not on that agenda request. We have a rental vehicle of $353.60 plus fuel costs. That will be for renting a van for all of the attendees for the PELRAS conference.
Okay. Is there a motion on these training requests?
I'll make a motion on the training requests.
Seconded.
Motion to approve, I assume?
Yes, motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion
Distinction.
and a second. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a training request from Public Works.
Thank you. The Public Works Department is requesting approval to send 6 new employees to the Flagger Training Course on 3/27/26 at the Green Township Municipal Building. Attending the course will be Travis Jefferson, Jonah Douglas, Sean Kendrick from the Streets Department, and William Bowman, Tyler Killian, and Patrick Matisowski from the Sewer Department. The course runs from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and transportation will be provided by township vehicles. The cost of the course is $60 per person. Funding will be taken from the training line items of the streets and sewers operating budgets. I recommend sending these employees to the training.
I will make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a training request from the CRS Department.
The CRS Department is requesting approval for our communication coordinator to attend the 11th Annual Government Social Media Conference taking place May 5th through the 7th, 2026 at the Hilton New Orleans Riverside in Louisiana. This is the only national conference focused exclusively on social media in the public sector, and it is designed to address the unique challenges government communicators face. The event draws 1,600-plus attendees from federal, state, and local agencies across the country. Training will focus on platform changes, legal compliance, crisis communication, AI tools, and public engagement strategies. Attendance will strengthen the township's digital communication efforts and bring back actionable strategies to better serve our residents. The event also includes 3 months of an on-demand session recording for continued team learning. Recommendation conference registration is $929. Flight to New Orleans is $515.81 currently. Hotel, 4 nights with tax, $219 per night. Meals and incidentals, $340. Rideshare is $80 if needed. Total is $2,899.54. The CRS budgeted $1,000 for the training and $3,700 for travel. It is my recommendation to send Chantel Rodriguez to this conference. This training was budgeted expense and coming under $1,800.
Okay, any questions or comments on this request?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I'll vote yes. One more training request. Shallon Anderson, Emergency Management Coordinator, is requesting to attend the Emergency Planning Training Course at Vern Central Hose Company in Meadville on March 12th and 13th. There is no cost for the class. Lunch will be provided. Travel will be by personal vehicle with a reimbursement for fuel of $104.40. I'd like to make a motion to approve this training for Shallon.
Seconded.
And sorry, I don't have to third it.
No, I'll call for a vote, though. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next, we have the annual ECADO Yearbook Dinner. The cost is $32 per person, and the invitation is to supervisors, secretaries, treasurers, zoning officers, solicitors, tax collectors, auditors, engineers, and spouses. It is on March 26th. So I don't believe we have any commitments yet. Is that correct, Secretary? I would like to make a motion to approve up to 3 attendees. We may or may not use them, but just in case, it is a good event. I've attended several times. Is this the same time as PELRAS?
Yes.
Yes, so Dr. Morris and I will already be out of town, so we're not able to attend.
Okay, Thursday.
I have gone in the past, and it's a great event. I can't attend this year.
Okay. Well, I'll still make the motion for up to 3 people, which would be a cost of up to 106. Pardon? It's 32 times 3. Yeah. 96. Up to $96.
I will second that.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Supervisor Clear?
Yes.
Supervisor Morris?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And just so everyone is aware, it's ECADO stands for the Erie County Association of Township Supervisors. Yes, officials. So yes, so secretaries, et cetera. Yeah, it's a great organization. It involves, I believe, 35 municipalities, 34 municipalities in Erie County, and they do a lot to help each other, including working on, grant funding, especially when you have a place like Amity Township that has a population of like 100. They're able to kind of have the ability to talk to some of their surrounding townships in order to help them out.
We had one executive session on March 5th, discussed litigation matters regarding code enforcement matters and ADA compliance requirements, personnel matters related to streets, Department in Planning and Development, real estate matters related to Parks and Rec and lease of township property, and public safety matters related to the Fire Department and Police Department. Solicitor communications, anything further?
Nothing further on my end, thank you.
Student Ambassador Report. I want to applaud his patience for the last hour and a half.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I have a mandatory meeting at 11 o'clock for our accreditation.
you are
Is it okay, sir?
excused.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. So McDowell has been doing a lot of cool stuff recently. To begin, our AP Psychology students recently took a break from textbooks to build pseudo-brain models. It was a fun way to see how brain structures actually work, using everyone from former presidents to Kermit the Frog as their subjects. Over in the math club, they recently held a career exploration and trivia event to kick off things for Pi Day. If you're around on March 13th, head over to the South Gym to join the celebration. For our 11th and 12th graders, the world outside the classroom is starting to come into focus. A group of students recently toured local spots like Micromold, Plastico's Erie, ISM, and Erie's. All these students thoroughly enjoyed this visit and liked seeing these jobs in real life. We have some massive academic news to share. Singers Gridley Wright and Catherine Pelkowski have been named National Merit Finalists. This puts them among the top students in the entire country, and we couldn't be prouder of their hard work. McDowell continues to support students through hosting another session of our wellness series. This session will focus on teen resiliency and handling the stress of school and social life. While we celebrate those achievements, we're also making sure everyone has the support they need. This month, the Hub is hosting, the wellness series. And we are also looking forward towards graduation with the FIA webinars to help families make sense of college financial aid, and FIA stands for Pennsylvania Higher Education Agency. Spring is officially here. Spring sports started up on March 2nd. Good luck to everyone out there playing baseball, softball, lacrosse, track, tennis, volleyball, and girls flag football. And if the stage is more your scene, don't miss Disney's Freaky Friday at the Little Theater from March 12th to 14th. It's going to be a great show. Finally, for the class of 2026, senior families can now order graduation yard signs and banners to show some Trojan pride. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the great update. Oh, by the way, have you entered fourth quarter yet?
That starts, I think, on the 24th, maybe?
Ooh, yes, and then it's just smooth sailing from there, right?
Okay. Before we go into citizens to be heard, I just have a few items that were addressed at the last meeting by citizens, and I just wanted to relay that information. So we had a question on, is there a database for the license plate readers? So I reached out to Chief Mook, and this was his response. The Motorola ALPR system in our patrol cars sends a query to the Clean Maintained Hot List. Clean is Commonwealth Law Enforcement Assistance Network, and checks for records of stolen plates and stolen vehicles. It also checks for wanted persons and missing persons with a known connection to a particular vehicle or plate. The record of this inquiry is kept for 30 days. No personal data is queried in the Clean system for a vehicle owner, address, or driver's information. The picture of the ALPR capture is kept for 90 days. And he said that he has personally seen the photos. It is merely a picture of the license plate and the nearby body of the car. You cannot see the occupants or passenger compartment. None of the data is kept by Mill Creek Police Department. The data is stored by Motorola. And the second resident, spoke on dog parks. Didn't know if Ashley wanted to provide a quick update. I believe Mr. Jones asked about that. I did mention that Scott Park was our most popular park for dog walking, but he was inquiring about, if we had any plans to actually build a dog park exclusive.
So that will be explored, as will be the usage and the functionality of all of our parks in a comprehensive park recreation and open space plan that we are going to be doing through grant funding that we received. So in that process, again, we'll evaluate all of our park spaces and take a look at the amenities that we have and then the amenities that have been requested. Dog parks is certainly on that list, and see where it's best suited within our current park system, be that possibly Scott Park or another facility that we have. So that's, when we take a bigger look at the bigger picture of our park system, that will certainly be addressed in that.
And there are some dedicated areas already within the township where people do take their dogs. I understand behind the Humane Society, there's a small area that people frequent. Right down the road at the Horseman and Sons, there's a small fenced-in area adjacent to Westridge Road where...
Yeah, so there's definitely different opportunities that they have, and we welcome dogs also at Scott Park. We just request them to be leashed. So, yeah, there are off-the-leash areas, both at Hortsman, as you mentioned, and behind the Humane Society as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anything on those two items? The third item, we had a request to publish the bills prior to the meeting, and we are going to be publishing the bills after they're approved. So they were approved at today's meeting. So my understanding is they will be scanned and placed online at some point, whenever Cheryl can get that up and running, whether that's today or tomorrow, but in close proximity to after our Tuesday meeting where we approve the bills, they will then be listed for public viewing. And that's all I have under citizens to be heard from last meeting. Are there any citizens to be heard today? Just a reminder that there is a 5-minute time limit, and
I know, I will set my clock so I don't lose my time from your answers.
well, we're going off of our 5-minute clock.
Okay, well,
That's the official clock. So
so you are pausing for your answers?
No, we're not pausing. It's a 5-minute time limit. It'll be our official clock. You can certainly keep the time there, but this is the clock we're going to go by.
Okay, I would like to know what you know about the smart city. Is Mill Creek going towards a smart city or a 15-minute city?
So I'm not familiar with the smart city. Is this something involving technology or?
It's involving the Gateway project. You're not familiar with that?
Forgive me, I'm not familiar with that term at all.
Okay, well.
I can certainly.
This was online, and for
Okay.
anybody who's here or listening, Mill Creek Township is working towards becoming a 15-minute city by promoting walkability and connectivity through strategic plans and redevelopment initiatives. Focuses on ensuring that residents can access essential services and amenities. You're actively pursuing initiatives that align with the principles of a 15-minute city through the Gateway District Redevelopment Program, okay?
What was that on, Candy?
This was on,
Via what media?
I went online and just punched in, is Mill Creek going towards a 15-minute city?
Right, and so where was that from? Was that from Go Erie? Was it from
No, it was, I went on Brave. That was my search engine.
Brave? Okay, I'm not.
My search engine. I don't believe this was an AI response. Okay.
Director Waldinger, do you have any information on this that you?
I mean, I'm aware of the concept of 15-minute cities, and I could speak on that. I don't know if we want to, if
I don't want to take
Ms. Horn would like to take her time.
Okay.
Okay, and what I wanted to know is this Green Light Go that you got the grant for.
Yes.
That's tied into a smart city, okay? They have the AI that controls the lights, and I want to know, are those streetlights, I had asked you 2 meetings ago in February, are you going to have the automatic license plate readers or the flock cameras on those lights?
No
On the-
plans for that. The, the concept for the Green Light Go program to continue that funding that was started and utilized up on Peach Street and Interchange Road to synchronize the lights better than they've been will carry on to the 12th Street corridor as well, with no plans for cameras of the nature you described.
Okay, I had another question about the Guardian Tower. Were the neighbors notified? Is it 5G? Is it 6G?
I don't know the answer to that. I think it's a little early to
We're going to probably approve it at the next meeting, right?
know. Well, this is, approving the lease agreement was one of the first steps, and the next step is now that the company will have to go through zoning to get approval to make sure that, you know, they can actually construct the tower on the Millfair property. So your question is what is the size of the tower, or?
Is it 5G? Is it 6G? Do the people in the neighborhood, are they aware of it? Can they speak up against it? A lot of people don't want...
Well, they will, Matt, they would be notified when...
At the time of application for the
Yes.
construction.
So
Okay.
the neighbors,
My other question is, how many of our paid firefighters live out of state?
live out of state.
Live in Ohio? Ashtabula, Conneaut, North Kingsville?
I don't know the exact number. Chief Cliff, do you have an exact number? Is this something we need to double check and get back to her, or do you feel comfortable with a number?
I would have to double check. It's a couple, it's a handful of people.
Yeah.
But I can get the number for you.
So we could safely
Thought there
say
was-
less than 5 or less than 10?
Yeah, it's,
But-
That's definitely less than 10.
Okay.
Maybe a
It was
handful
between
of
5 and 7, because the first people you hired, I think, were from Conneaut, and now you and your assistant chief are from Ashtabula, so there's at least 2.
But we
But,
can get an exact number for you, Candy, and I can
Okay.
report back next meeting.
And I want to know if, are our volunteer firefighters in a union? Oh, there's mine.
No.
Oh.
I gave you 6 extra seconds.
You
You
ask
are the
if,
bomb,
you ask
Miss
if the
Kim.
volunteer firefighters are in a union.
Yes.
No.
Because they give up everything like the paid firefighters. They leave their jobs, they leave their homes, and do
Right,
they have
no.
any kind of,
Well, they're not in a firefighter union
right,
per se. I mean, here, you know, as you know, they, on an unrelated but related, they do get a tax credit if they apply for that, a tax break. If they own a home, they can apply for a property tax credit.
that was all I had. Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
thank you. Any other citizens to be heard today? Yep, got the card, thank you.
Hello, my name is Caleb Sundance. I was here a couple meetings ago speaking on flock cameras. I know I stated in the speech that I wrote up that I would be sending you some information on these flock cameras. Did you get a chance to review that information?
I did receive it, and I gave it a preliminary look. That
Okay. So has there been any change in the plans with the flock cameras? Are they still going up?
there has been no change from
Okay.
the previous meeting, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's of course disappointing to hear, especially considering the existential nature of these cameras. I just want to make it clear that here that I am interested in having one-on-one meetings with all of you. I'd be willing to meet with the police chief as well, whoever else is interested to talk further on this issue.
Okay,
But while
Kim,
I'm here, I
maybe you
have a
could
few
set that up as liaison. He wants to meet with a supervisor and the police chief.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
We'll get together after the meeting, okay?
Yeah, I'll be around.
sounds
Cool.
good.
And then just a few notes that I have here to just kind of highlight. I don't know if y'all have watched the Super Bowl commercials.
I did not personally watch the Super Bowl or
It's
the
relevant,
commercials.
I swear.
I know I'm in the minority, but go ahead.
Yeah. One of the reasons that I bring that up is because there was a particular advert that was played during the Super Bowl about Ring cameras, and Ring cameras partner with Flock Safety. The Ring cameras are through Amazon, and since those commercials were viewed by many people, there was such a backlash that Amazon, aka the Ring cameras, decided to separate their partnership with Flock Safety. We've also seen, if I remember correctly, one article that I read from Yahoo News highlighted the fact that a lot of these cameras have been seeing an increase in vandalization. So if you are unaware of that, that is something also to consider. I don't know if the township is on the hook for any sort of repair or replacement or maintenance of those cameras, but I think that is a concern either way. And I am of the understanding that this is going to be just a continued growing phenomenon. I also think that there will be a lot more right-to-know requests as this continues as well, and so that may also cause some issues. And then I know I briefly mentioned it in the speech that I gave last time, but one concern, especially considering the recent news with Iran, is that it does pose a national security risk, and I would hate to see us continue to facilitate that sort of danger. Again, I will reiterate that it is not just a concern for like citizens, but of course yourselves or any public officials will be in the spotlight there, as they are very easily hackable, and it is not solely, in my confidence, it is not solely in the hands of trusted officials that these cameras are. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, but like I said, I will be around for further discussion.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wish to speak today? Going once? Going 3 times? Going twice? Okay, I gave you a chance.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 11:17.